Picture the eternal city in flames the year 410 AD as Alaric's Visigoths pour through breached walls, their axes cleaving marble columns that once echoed with Cicero's thunder. Smoke chokes the sky over the forum, where senators in tattered togas are clutched scrolls of forgotten laws, and the Tiber runs red with the blood of a crumbling world. Amid the sack, a desperate courier slips from the chaos, a sealed papyrus clutched to his chest like a beating heart, the guarded recipe for Tyrian purple, that elixir of empire distilled from the sea's foulest depths. He races eastward, across fractured provinces, evading bandits and barbarians toward a new dawn on the Bosphorus. This wasn't mere flight. It was the greatest heist in history reversed. A treasure stolen from doom's jaws, smuggled to a glittering fortress where it would be locked away for 1,000 years, defended by spies' oaths and the shadow of God himself. But how does a color born of rot endure when Rome itself perishes? What unholy pact fused pagan dye with Christian cross, turning emperors into saints and secrets into sacraments? And when the final canon shatters those golden walls, what cataclysm engulfs the world in colorless shadow? Hold your breath, for this is the saga of Byzantium's purple veil, a millennium of intrigue, where one hue held the keys to heaven and throne, and its loss plunged Europe into a chromatic dark age. It is the 4th century AD, and the empire teeters on oblivion's edge. In the west, Vandals and Huns gnaw at the frontiers like wolves at a wounded stag. In the east, a visionary named Constantine gazes across the Golden Horn at a sleepy Greek fishing village called Byzantium. Here, in 330 AD, he plants the seeds of rebirth, renaming it Constantinople, the city of Constantine's power, a bulwark against the gathering storm. No mere refuge, this new Rome rises like a phoenix from imperial porphyry, its harbours teeming with galleys from Alexandria to Antioch, its forums alive with the babel of a dozen tongues. Constantine, the first Christian emperor, doesn't just transplant Rome's legions and libraries, he salvages its soul. Among the arcane arts ferried across the seas, the Phoenician sorcery of purple, that unfading stain once reserved for pagan gods. Under his eagle gaze, dye-works sprout along the city's eastern shores, vast complexes of stone vats and salt-crusted piers, where slaves and artisans, bound by iron oaths and imperial edict, toil under the watchful eyes of the excubitores, the emperor's elite guard. Production isn't trade, it's sacrament, subsidized by the imperial fisc, its output funneled straight to the sacristies of the great palace. Security is paranoia incarnate. Recipes etched in ciphered codices, locked in iron-bound chests within the Chalke Gate. Workers, often eunuchs to prevent dynastic whispers, sworn to silence on pain of blinding or the noose. Spies infest the halls. Varangians from the north, axe-wielding berserkers, loyal only to gold, poised to slit the throat of any merchant sniffing too close. The stakes? Catastrophic. Lose the purple, and the emperor's aura dims. Rivals rise, claiming divine disfavor. Justinian the Facond, the lawgiver who reconquered Africa and Italy in the 6th century, pours fortunes into these forges, his code of Justinian etched on vellum edged in violet, a reminder that law and legend bleed the same imperial hue. For 5 centuries, as plagues ravage the east and Arabs claw at the gates, purple endures, a thread of continuity and a tapestry of turmoil, its vats bubbling like the empire's indomitable heart. But purple's true fortress isn't stone or sea, it's blood spilled in the birthing chamber where legitimacy is forged in fire and porphyry. Enter the Mise, Constantinople's grand avenue, lined with triumphal arches and whispering colonnades, leading to the great palace, a labyrinth of gilded halls and secret gardens sprawling over 7 hills. At its core, veiled behind silk drapes and golden griffins, lies the porphyra, the purple chamber, a sanctum hewn from Egyptian porphyry, that blood-red stone quarried from imperial monopolies in the Nile's crimson deserts. Walls gleam like frozen wine. Floors pulse with veined violet underfoot. The air thick with incense and the cries of laboring empresses. Here, in this womb of empire, only true heirs are born. Children emerging slick with the sweat of divinity, their first wail echoing off stones that mirror the purple robes of their forebears. The term porphyrogenitos, born in the purple, isn't poetry. It's pedigree, a scarlet seal of succession. Picture young Constantine VII in 905 AD, son of Leosiskid the Wise, the first to claim this mantle untainted. His father, entangled in scandals and schisms, clings to the throne amid usurpers' plots, generals with armies at the hippodrome, patriarchs thundering excommunications from Hagia Sophia's dome. Leo's earlier sons, born before his coronation, are dismissed as pretenders, their claims as frail as autumn leaves. But Constantine, delivered in the porphyra, under candlelight and choral psalms, steps forth legitimate, his tiny form swaddled in silk the exact hue of the walls, a living talisman against the wolves. The consequences ripple like a stone in the Bosphorus. Non-porphyrogenitos heirs face exile or the blade, their mothers disgraced, their factions shattered. Anna Komnene, daughter of Alexios the Fat in the 11th century, chronicles the fury. Usurpers like Nikephoros Phocas, storming the palace in 963, only to be outmaneuvered by the purple-born's aura. Emperors parade these heirs in processions, the child atop a pearl-inlaid litter, purple streamers fluttering like captured sunsets, crowds prostrating in awe. It's a high-wire act of fate, one stillborn in the chamber, and dynasties crumble. One survivor, and Byzantium endures. The porphyra isn't just a room, it's the empire's pulse, where purple transmutes mortal frailty into messianic might, binding throne to eternity in a single, staining birth. Yet as the millennium unfolds, purple sheds its pagan skin, baptizing itself in the blood of the Lamb. The 4th century's Edict of Milan frees Christianity from persecution, but Constantine's vision demands more, a fusion of cross and crown, where emperor becomes Basileus, Christ's viceroy on earth. Purple, once the cloak of Jupiter, drapes the shoulders of the pious sovereign. Is permanence now a metaphor for divine grace unyielding to sin or shadow? In the mosaics of Ravenna and the icons of Sinai, Christ Pantocrator gazes from domes, his halo edged in Tyrian violet, the color bridging heaven and hierarchy. Emperors like Theophilos in the 9th century commissioned vestments for the clergy, metropolitans in purple sakoi, bishops in omophoria fringed with the dye, elevating priests to imperial peers. The Great Schism of 1054 rends east from west, but purple unites the faithful. In the divine liturgy, the emperor processes to the ambo, his chlamys ablaze in royal hue, flanked by deacons chanting, "Many years to the Basileus." It's a theology of tint. Purple, evoking the wounds of Calvary, the royalty of resurrection, a hue that whispers, "I am the way, the truth, and the life eternal." Stakes soar in this sacred weave. Iconoclast emperors like Leo III smash purple-tinted relics in the 8th century, sparking riots that topple thrones. Restorers like Irene convene councils in halls carpeted violet, reclaiming the color as orthodox icon. By the 12th century, under Manuel Bertrand Komnenos, alliances with Venice bring floods of snails to the vats. But heresy lurks, Bogomils decrying the dye as vanity, their whispers fanned into flames by inquisitorial purple-robed patriarchs. The color safeguards the soul of the state. Without it, the emperor's piety falters, the church fractures, and the infidel presses closer. In cathedrals like the Holy Apostles, tombs gleam with purple shrouds, martyrs and monarchs interred side by side, their legacy a defiant stain against oblivion. Byzantium's genius lay here, in alchemizing power's pigment into faith's fire, where to wear purple was to wear the wounds of God, and to guard it was to guard the gates of paradise. But empires, like dyes, fade under relentless sun. By the 14th century, the once mighty realm frays at the edges. Plagues hollow the boulevards Catalan mercenaries desert for gold. The Fourth Crusade of 1204 sacks the city itself. Latin knights, trampling mosaics, under iron boots, purple robes looted as war prizes. Michael VIII, Palaiologos, recaptures Constantinople in 1261, but the wound festers. Trade routes choke under Genoese galleys. The treasury bleeds for mercenaries. Whispers of doom echo in the Senate. The purple vats run low, snails scarce from overharvested seas, artisans fleeing to safer shores. Enter Mehmed II, the Ottoman Sultan, a boy king forged in Janissary fire, his eyes fixed on the unconquered prize. In 1453, as spring blooms mock the dying city, his armada darkens the Bosphorus. 200 ships, 80,000 men, and monstrous cannons forged by Hungarian renegades. Each shot a thunderclap shattering Theodosian walls built to defy eternity. Emperor Constantine the Font, last of the purple-born line, rallies his 1,000 defenders atop the ramparts. His lorica segmentata edged in fraying violet, crying, "The city is fallen, but I remain." For 53 days, the siege grinds. Greek fire sputters in vain. Chains across the Golden Horn snap like brittle oaths. On May 29th, as dawn gilds the Hagia Sophia, Janissaries swarm the breaches, scimitars flashing in the smoke. The emperor falls, his body lost in the melee, trampled into anonymity. Amid the rout, the dye works burn, vats overturned, recipes scattered to the wind, their guardians slain or scattered. For 1,000 years purple had been Byzantium's unbreakable vow. Now its loss unravels the West's wardrobe, kings reduced to crimson rags, the color of gods consigned to myth. But was it truly divine protection, or hubris in imperial folds? The secret that survived Rome's pyre now perishes in Constantinople's, birthing a void that 4 centuries of alchemists will scramble to fill. What modern secret do we guard like Byzantium's purple? A patent, a password, a family recipe that could topple worlds if lost. Share below. Your stories fuel the fire. If this chronicle of chambers and cannons gripped your soul, like it now, your nod unearths more shadows. Subscribe, bell blazing, for the catastrophe that follows. The day the color died and explorers chased ghosts across oceans. The hunt begins. You ready?